The hymns, the songs, and prayers collected in the Vedas throw considerable light on Aryan values during this period. Let's talk about the gods first. The Aryans were a polytheistic people. Just like the Greek gods, each deity had a power over a certain aspect of life. Lakshmi for business, Ganesha to overcome obstacles in life, Shiva to conceive children. The chief deity of the Aryans, of course, was Indra, the war god. They portrayed him as wielding thunderbolts as he led them into battle. Indra also had a domestic dimension. He was also associated with weather, and especially when it comes to raining, to water the crops and the land. The Aryans, had also other deities, including gods of the sun, the sky, fire, moon, health, disease, the dawn, and the underworld. The importance of Indra reflected the instability of early Vedic society. Now, the Aryan religion did not neglect ethics. The god Varuna presided over the behavior of mortals and preserved the cosmic order. He despised lying and evil deeds, and afflicted evildoers with severe punishments, including disease and death. They dispatched the souls of evildoers to the house of clay, a realm of punishment, while allowing the virtuous to enter the Aryan heaven known as the world of the fathers. Unlike future Indian religions, however, there is no belief in reincarnation. By the time of the Aryans arriving in India, sacrifices were complex and elaborate. They slaughtered sometimes hundreds of specifically prepared animals, cattle, sheep, goats, horses, and worshippers partook of soma, a hallucinogenic that produced sensations of power and divine inspiration. Aryans believed that during this sacrificial event, their gods visited the earth and joined the worshippers in the ritual eating and drinking. By pleasing the gods, the Aryans expected divine support that ensured military success, large families, long life, and a whole bunch of cattle. Later in the Vedic age, Aryan religion went through a remarkable evolution. Many grew dissatisfied with the sacrificial cults of the Vedas, which seemed mechanical. Around 800 BC, many retreated to the Ganges Valley, living as hermits and contemplating the Vedas. The mystics drew from Dravidic religious belief. Dravidics worshipped nature spirits, and that they had associated with fertility and generation of new life. Dravidians also believed in reincarnation. Sometimes souls returned as plants or animals, sometimes in the bodily shell of newborn humans. Now, there's going to be a blending of the two. The religious meditation appeared most fully in the Upanishads, around 800 to 400 BC. It means sitting in front of, and it refers to the practice of the disciples gathering before a sage for a discussion on religious issues. They taught that the individual human being is not separate and not an autonomous creature. Instead, each participates in a larger cosmic order and forms the small part of the universal soul known as the Brahman. The Brahman is an eternal, unchanging, and permanent foundation for everything. The authors believe that the souls were born into the physical world many times. They believe that souls appear most often as humans, but sometimes as animals, and possibly even occasionally as plants and other vegetable matter. The highest goal of the soul, of course, was the escape of that cycle of birth and rebirth, and enter into a permanent union with Brahman. Now, they developed several doctrines. One was samsara, which held that upon death, individual souls would go temporarily to the world of the fathers, and then return in a new incarnation. Another was karma, which accounted for specific incarnations that the souls experienced. They explained karma as this: now, as a man is like this or like that, according as he acts and according as he behaves, so he will be. A man of good acts will become good, a man of bad acts, bad. He becomes pure by pure deeds, bad by bad deeds. Virtuous individuals can expect a rebirth into a purer and more honorable existence, like a higher caste. Less virtuous people, however, would suffer in a future incarnation by being reborn into a different existence altogether. This cycle of rebirth involves pain and suffering. Therefore, the authors sought to escape the cycle in a deep, dreamless sleep that came with permanent liberation from physical incarnation. That goal was difficult to reach because it severed all ties to the physical world and identified with the ultimate reality of the Brahman, the universal soul. And that doctrine is known as moksha.